it is the morning program. I bring you the wonderment of antiquity. Raymond McCabe. No, you're not the wonderment of antiquity. You bring to me the produce of antiquity. This casket is dated what?
1 year old.
1 year old?
1 year old.
You were telling me that's ancient.
I know, but you believe me?
I did. He said about selling. I had me going there. He said Tutankhamun he had even mentioned. And that's the other big question. Is it Tutankhamun or Tutankhamun? I'm not sure. What is this?
It's
1 year old artifact.
It's a copy of an early Victorian tea caddy.
Wow. And it's where is it from?
Well, there's probably
Let
a
me do
giveaway.
this first of all.
Oh, feathered mahogany.
Wow.
Probably this is a giveaway.
Indonesia.
This is a problem with antiques.
Yeah.
That when you look at a piece like this,
Oh my
and
God.
it's so well made with box inlaid feathered mahogany, beautifully made.
Is this
handmade.
feathered mahogany
Yes,
here?
all solid feathered mahogany.
My goodness. That's for making tea.
That's for making your tea. And I discovered this today that you hit the springs, so your loose tea.
Your loose tea can go in there.
Well, no, sorry, your loose tea's here.
Here.
And your mix is here.
And yeah,
This is for,
this is for storage,
well,
obviously.
if it was Cross McGlen tea, maybe they put something extra in there.
Extra, you'd have the stuff from the hills. But listen, this would be a great device to help me pull the birds, wouldn't it? So, did I say that?
You did.
I didn't mean it, honestly. To all the birds I've ever known, I don't mean it. I don't mean it at all. But I mean, it would be very impressive if a fellow had that, and then had a china teapot,
Of course.
and a strainer, and the very
Yes.
best of tea,
Yeah.
and. But what would I have to pay for the like of this?
This is a problem with antiques. This is new.
This is clean, by the way. This is chamois.
And a beautiful piece of furniture, very well constructed with boxwood inlay.
Yeah.
That's probably more expensive than a period piece, than an old piece. And that possibly is better made than some of the older pieces.
Oh, it would be. Yeah.
Because the older pieces had a light veneer, whereas this is solid, unfeathered mahogany.
What does unfeathered mean?
Feathered mahogany is where they get a nice piece of grain, where a branch is coming out of a tree,
Yeah.
and they slice it like slices of ham,
Oh, yeah.
and they use it as a veneer on a cheaper timber.
Oh.
Because 100 years ago, they hadn't the means to get all this lovely mahogany from all parts of the world. They hadn't the transportation. So that's why they used sparingly their mahogany. Now,
It's
Indonesia has plenty of young trees, very young trees.
and sustainable because they're
course,
replanting as they
of
go.
course, yeah.
Now, you still haven't told me a price. Would you take 100 for it?
No.
Would
no.
Okay.
This would retail at around £200. An old one in that condition.
£200.
Yeah.
That's very, very.
An old piece in that condition could be possibly £4.
Yeah.
A rough one that needs work on 80, 100, 120, £150.
Yeah.
But it's just to show you how people can get caught out.
Yes.
And it's not, to me, it's not the antique value.
If you had said to me, £900, I wouldn't have been surprised.
Would you give me?
If I had it and I wanted it, I would. Isn't that the formula? If I had it and I wanted it, yes, I would. If I had it and I wanted it, yes, I would. But it's so. It is. It's people can be fooled. Perhaps is the wrong word. But it's so lovely. And then once you've finished your lifetime of consuming tea, you could use this as a repository for your ashes.
Possibly, it's the right shape.
It's the right shape. You could leave it sitting on the fireboard at home with a huge big picture of Rowan here with a red Sacred Heart lamp under it.
Yeah, thinking of costs as well. You know,
Keeping everything to
smaller,
a minimum,
yeah.
you see. You see. That's all the good
It's
things.
an investment.
Very much so. Because I'm an optimist, I would want it to be an investment.
Of course.
Now, once upon a time, you would have physically gone to Ethiopia, Indonesia, to get this. You would have travelled out. As you have travelled across the world in various places, your passports bear testimony to those travels in the life of Raymond. Nowadays, you don't do that so much.
No, business has changed. At one stage, there was a demand for antique style reproduction furniture. Now that the onus has moved to contemporary, I see a turn in the market that's going to come back. The older look's going to come back. At the minute, you can see a revival in people making do and doing up old pieces of furniture, repolishing them, putting the painted finish on.
But where do they go to get furniture all for repolished and the like?
We
You
still
do everything.
We still carry that service that we do
Excellent.
repairs. And
Goes back to your dad's day.
Goes back to my
And your grandfather's
day.
day. I remember him doing it down the yard, in the shed at the bottom of the yard in Mary Street.
Spit and polish.
Honest to goodness, that was it. It was called French polishing.
It is, yeah. And funny, my grandfather and my father had an old concoction of Mick McAvoy, the chemist, at the top of Mary Street, would get them raw linseed oil and methylated spirits. And this was what they called a reviving polish. And they used to done all the old furniture that came in from round the country, and they would polish it up and put their goods out for wear. But it was a liquid. My dad still has a formula for it, to make this polish for cleaning furniture. And people still come in and ask for it. Little bottles.
You would remember it.
Oh yeah, very much so.
And presumably in the doing of it, you would take a very, very light emery cloth and just give it a touch.
Yeah, it was more of it's like using vinegar. And it's like methylated spirits. It's a cutting agent, so we take the build-up of grime. You don't want to take the age off. It's just the dirt and the grime that builds up of furniture over the years. That's what it was for.
Yeah, yeah. The reason I invited you to, there's a couple of dueling pistols been sold in Belfast today, and they're fetching in something like, they're expected to fetch about 5,000 there. They're lovely, lovely things. And you know, in the photograph that was in the Irish News last week of the auction house, surrounded by all of beautiful antiquity, I thought to myself, that's McCabe's. I was looking at it, and I thought that was it. So, not so very, very long ago, I came into your place, and I shan't name names here at all, but I saw a billionaire there standing, purchasing, doing his business with you.
Yeah.
It's an extraordinary story of growth from early beginnings, the man coming out of Belfast down in the train with a basket to Newry, 100 years ago almost. Would it be that long ago?
Yeah, it would be. Around that, yeah. My grandfather moved down, I think with his father as well, moved down in the early days. Johnny and Paddy was his father. And
Johnny and Paddy.
They started their business in Newry Market.
Yeah.
When there was an open piece of ground. With a tarpaulin cover probably over the goods. And would they have come up with the goods on the train from Belfast or not? They would have had a lorry. No, there's no lorries.
No lorry?
It was, I forget the company's name, but it was like a branch of Ulster Bus.
The UTA, the Ulster Transport Authority or Association.
And it probably came up by train.
Yeah.
And it was lifted off in Edward Street with a handcart. And the handcart, the goods were wheeled round to the market and sold in the market.
Yeah. Did you do deliveries on the handcart?
We did. I actually often heard my dad telling the story of him and his sister Eileen.
Oh, God love her.
Eileen Smith. And I think at one stage they were used to transport a wardrobe from Aileen Terrace in Newry down Dorans Hill. But they were used as the brakes on the handcart. They had the ropes to slow it down.
Stop her running.
Slow it down.
My goodness.
So they were used for.
I transported a woman out of Aileen Terrace once. Okay. She married me.
Right.
And she was very wonderful.
Handcart?
No, not. I brought a car for her, and then she gave me. We got very close.
Very good.
And she gave me 5 children.
Very good.
Lovely children they were. So Aileen Terrace has a soft place in my heart, a nice part of the world. But then other parts of Newry, you would have had suites of furniture that were for this street or that street, because that suite wouldn't suit there, it wouldn't go through the door, but that suite would, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, we would still do suites of furniture that there's certain streets in Newry that are very small excess, so you have to be careful how you put the suite in or how it gets in. A lot of them won't fit, and we've met our problems before. I actually got a phone call from a lady recently who was wanting to sell me a piano. And I asked her where she lived, and I said, have you a problem with the piano? She says, yes, we can't get it out. And I says, I know. My father put it in through the roof on a crane when they were adapting the roof.
You're joking.
So when the person sells the house, they sell the piano as well.
As well. But isn't that a great story of history and provenance and family pride? You know, what's it like being successful in your line of work, knowing that you stand on the shoulders of giants?
Very proud of it, very proud of my father and my grandfather, how they built the business up, and it was very tough times, and you could say we were doing antiques to them, and to me, still it was good quality furniture, and that's what counts.
Oh yeah.
Whether it's new, old, second-hand, whatever you want to call it, if it's good quality. But I feel very proud of being part of Newry and growing up in the Mary Street area and over Mountain Gardens area.
How were you brought up in Jemima? You were never in Jemima.
I was, yeah.
What were you doing there?
That's where my grandfather O'Hare.
Yeah, yes, of course.
Lived,
yes, now I've got you.
Yeah, got me now.
Yeah.
We lived with my grandfather O'Hare.
Of course.
And you know, Newry being Newry, you'll still walk down the street and meet 20 people you recognise. You know that yourself, and more.
I discovered something about my own family recently. That we buried Ailish McCormack,
right,
Kevin McCormack's dear widow. Ailish was 87, the last of my father's sisters alive, and we buried her Thursday a week ago.
Right.
And I didn't know this. Ailish, of course, I did know was a nurse and a midwife, but Ailish's mother, a Cor from Dundalk,
right?
She was a midwife. And Ailish's mother was the Catholic midwife in the Mary Street community.
Oh.
Lived at number 20.
Yeah.
And Ma Graham, at the opening into your yard,
the big
was
house.
the Protestant midwife.
Wow.
Who delivered me into the world.
Very
so
good.
whatever got into them that it was the Protestant midwife delivered me, and the Catholic midwife wouldn't touch me. And my mother looked at me coming out and said, I don't want him, get him back in again. No, don't, get rid of him, get rid of him, get rid of him. But I mean, isn't it amazing that you find things out about family?
I mean, you went back to the Dundalk, the cars, anything to do with the cars?
I believe so. I believe so, because there is that connection. And if you were to look at my girls, and I had 5 girls, and my there's a lot of girls in my grandfather's family as well, but you would see the physical similarities in the appearance of the core girls and my girls.
And your vocal cords, of course.
And my vocal cords. Listen, you've done me the great service, and there are people in this. I really thank you for it. Bed. You looked after me. When I needed beds, you looked after me with beds. And beds are so important in our lives, especially as you grow older.
Extremely important. And I have write-ups and reviews about people on medication, and some of them say, check your bed and your medication. You know, sleep is one of the most important things you can get, and you better be on the right mattress that suits you. All of us are different. All of us like different things. And you have to come in and you have to be nearly sized up for the suit and try the bed out and lie in it and go on.
I'm saying nothing.
And you might like medium, you might like firm, you might like gentle, you might like fleece-lined.
Oh yes. Fleece-lined.
Etc. Wool.
I love your beds.
Very good.
But I mean, the mattress I got from you, it's a special mattress in that it's not one of these foamy nonsense mattresses.
No.
It's there's 1,000 springs in it.
Well, 1,000 would be small now, Ronan.
How many did I get from you?
14,000.
It was 14,000 I got from you.
No, you didn't go to the top. We got you to the middle. So we went for about 8,000.
I was never middle in my life. I was either on the top or the bottom.
But it's old way beds were made. There's cashmere, wool. There's actually hemp in the beds. There's layer of hemp, and they're made the old traditional way.
Hair.
Not any longer. Use a lot of cotton, and the fabric. The outer layer is very important, like a 400 thread count cotton fabric, because we all lose moisture per week, up to a litre of moisture, and the bed has to be fresh. And you know the old saying.
Yeah, go ahead.
Turn your bed down.
Turn your bed. That's what you have to do.
Leave it.
I turn my bed down every morning.
Windows
open, turn your bed down.
It's just you don't make it, that's what it is.
I do make my bed. Who else would make it for me? You know. But the bed is there, and first thing I do in the morning when I get up, the alarm I awaken before the alarm at 3:45. The alarm goes at 4. And I hate the alarm going off because it's a loud, nauseous, I hate it. So I want to get up before, so subliminally I'm wakening ahead of the alarm.
Yeah.
Get out of bed, walk, I fold the duvet back, right down over the bottom of the bed.
Correct.
Then I lift which was the head of the duvet, lift it back up again onto the bed, all the way across. So there I've got this amount of duvet at the bottom of the bed. Open the window, go out onto the balcony, stand yodeling naked at the rising sun, and twice got arrested.
Right, okay.
But it's to be expected.
Of course.
What I do for my art form is amazing. I'm required to do it, you know. But I mean, that's how you look after the bed.
We're lucky it's 4 o'clock in the morning you do this.
Well, I've been encouraged, but I have resisted the encouragement. You know yourself. But the thing about it is, I understand the turning down of the bed. But something I never, ever remember doing with beds in my life until you told me about it was to turn the mattress. And now this mattress weighs 2 tons, almost. It's a huge mattress.
Unfortunately, when a mattress is new, it's advisable to turn it weekly in a roundabout fashion, north-south, and then tip it the next week and keep turning it for approximately the first 8 to 12 weeks.
Pull my leg.
No, why not? It's settlement. If you sit on a sofa and you constantly sit in one area, you're going to dish the seat. So you have to move the cushions around on the sofa and flump them up. A bed you can't flump up.
No, you can't, I can tell you.
So that's why they ask you to turn it, continually turn it.
So if I take the bed, the mattress, I go here, and I lift it, I get it standing upright, and then top it on over, which means I've got to scoot around very quickly as I get it at the other side.
Or sometimes, do you see when you have it standing on the side, leave it like that for the day.
For the day?
Air. It's all to do with air, getting air through a bed.
You didn't know of this, did you? How did we ever survive the way things used to be? We did it. We did it.
The old way was nearly they took the hair mattress out on the line and hit it like a carpet.
Oh, goodness.
So it's just an old invention that's taken forward till today.
So beds, I love the wooden beds, the oak.
Oak's lovely, yeah. Any hardwood's beautiful.
Yeah.
But again, it's important to get a bed surrounds, is what you're talking about. But it's more important to get the right mattress.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people invest in the look. It's what you're lying on is the most important thing.
I was thrilled because it has worked a treat for me. I used my headstone as the headboard on the bed.
Okay.
And it's there, just up there, and it's lovely and just says Rowan, and in case I or someone else forgets who I am.
No little bits at the bottom?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Yeah. Just that'll come. The date is there, 1944 .
I told you I was sick. No.
No, I'll not go that way. But I mean, they all know. I'm going to go like, it'll be great. Andrew is under instructions on the camera that if I pass away live on air, the camera is to keep recording.
Very good.
And I'll be there. My last hurrah will be, here I go, here I go, here I go, up to heaven. I'm not going down below. So I'll do my best. But thank you for everything. Thank you for so the beds with people you obviously. But it's lovely going to this man's place because you don't have to. It annoys him a wee bit, I'm sure. You don't have. I say I've come to do a tour of Temptation Corridor, Temptation Tunnel, and I allow myself to wander around. And in large measure, it's me going back to being a 10-year-old boy in Mary Street when I wandered around down the yard.
Yeah.
And the stones, the cobblestones that were on the front of the street at your yard in Mary Street are now the cobblestones that lead me into your Emporium of Excellence out on the Belfast Road.
Very much so,
There's things to be done. Just go in and explore it and smell the place. Wow. Be a king for a day.
Things have moved on a lot, though, in business when you take it, as you say, coming in and looking around, where the internet has moved on.
Oh.
But I feel you can't get what you're saying. You can't see it, you can't touch it, you can't see the back, you can't feel this little tea caddy, look at the grain properly. It gives you an idea, an image, but it doesn't give you the true feel of it.
what I find I get a number of pleasure centers being ticked when I come into your place. The first thing is memory, the aroma, the smell of the linseed oil maybe. I look at the fine beds and memories again come to mind. Resting, recreating, taking life easy. And then I get the touch box being ticked. Then I get the bit of crack. It's like I was talking to Fergal earlier. We were doing our business slot. And I was saying that it's the difference between... I go to Ita, Newry Computers, and I say, look, Ita, there you are. I want to come here. Because I know she'll tell me about it. She'll tell me why it's good, why I should have it. She'll sell it to me, and then she'll tell me again why it's good. And I'm not ringing a 92758767, and he's saying, hello, yes, would you try pressing that button? Have you connected it? You know, so it's the same going to you, rather than but I'm sure you do internet stuff as well. But I mean, it's important, I think, face to human face.
Very much so, and as you say, you can go online and look at, I'm going to talk beds, not computers, you can look at a product, but there's people come into us for a piece of furniture or a bed, even a bed, you say, I can sell you a bed at any price, at £70 or £7,000.
Yeah.
But what we'd suggest to you, and what your needs to fill your requirement, if you haven't got the budget to spend on whatever, we look at the best we can get you for the price.
Yeah.
And a bit like what you're saying, you won't get that off a computer.
No. And, you know, you remind me of the Casbah.
Okay.
You can deal with you.
Of course.
Hands have been known to be spat on in your place. And having done the spitting, deal done.
I thought you meant hands as in own hands.
Thanks for coming in. You'll come back again and talk antiques to me.
Indeed.
It's our joy to bring you the wonderful world of antiques, courtesy of Raymond McCabe.